Lahore, the jewel of the subcontinent. Ruled by the mighty Mughals and modernized by the progressive British, this city is a diverse masterpiece. On the mall, there exists an establishment from the colonial times, the Mason Nursing Das building, a modern take on the traditional 12 arches. This creamy white exterior preserves some great treasures of the past. 1928, the year it started, the first time Mickey and Minnie Mouse came to the screen, the year Coca-Cola started sponsoring the games, and the year film started talking.
Wonderful pals are always hard to find.
1928, also the year this building became home to Syed Muhammad Ali Zaidi, founder of the Zaidi Studios. Inheriting photography from his father, he passed it down to his son, Shahid Zaidi.
This is our family business. It's my whole life. In the studio, I worked with my father's old wooden camera. So it's wood, brass, and leather. In the field, I worked with his big plate camera, heavy plate camera. That constitutes my camera. And lenses, I have very fine lenses. I have German lenses that I work with. Now, the studio has been around since 1928. And it's photographed governor generals, it's photographed prime ministers, it's photographed a whole bunch of people. And I think somebody has to take the responsibility of preserving this history. Instead of using scanners, I'm using the camera as the scanner. I'm photographing the negative. Because of my experimentation, etc., and my experience, I've hit upon a formula that I work with, and I get 16 megapixel negatives, large format negatives as well. So I can blow them up to any size. Okay, this is Squadron Leader Baird. He was photographed in 1940. And after that, he was posted back to Europe. And remember, this is 1940. The World War is going on. And this guy was a bomber pilot. So he goes off to Europe to fly his missions. He gets shot down in 1941. And I put this picture up, and immediately I had an inquiry from somebody in India who narrated this story to me, that this guy was flying over France in 1941, and he gave the date, etc., and he got shot down. All his crew died, he died, everybody died. And so this was his last picture.
Nearly a century old, the studio has produced over 300,000 portraits. Zaidi puts in his heart and soul to preserve this work and make it accessible to the public in the form of archives, both online and in studio. Going public with some of the recovered photographs, Zaidi translated the images in the form of Dastak, a collection that revives some great treasures of the time. This happened just across the canal on the mall, and I saw the two of them, Ayub Khan and Jackie Kennedy. They were looking at the girls who were standing across the street, and they were so colorful, so their attention was diverted towards them. And I couldn't have that. I wanted them looking at me. So I just ran out into the street and got chased by the fat Thanedar,
with a danda in his hand. And that just got their attention. And they were still waving towards the girls, and they just turned their head towards me. And I shot that picture and just got out from there.
From Muhammad Ali Jinnah to Maharajas of India, from Queen Elizabeth II to Imran Khan, Dastak is exactly the enlightenment this generation needed, providing a beautiful insight to the past. Dastak has become popular nationwide. With Zaidi's outstanding efforts taking shape, he is doing what can be called a great service, not only to the people of the subcontinent, but to the many across the seas as well.
I came across Zaidi Saab's work called Dastak by Facebook. And when I came across Qaid Azam's picture, I immediately knew that I wanted to have a copy of that print in my house in England. This is very important to me because of my love for my country and the fact that I miss my homeland so much. And having a portrait of Qaid Azam in my house, in my study here in England, means a lot to me.
I learned photography from Zaidi Saab 12 years ago. And for me, he's not only a teacher, he's my mentor. अच्छा, जब मुझे मालूम हुआ कि ज़ैदी साहब पुरानी पिक्चर्स को रिस्टोर कर रहे हैं तो मैं फ़ौरन ही उनके पास गई और मैंने उनसे अपने पेरेंट्स की जो 1974 में उन्होंने उनकी वेडिंग पोर्ट्रेट ली थी वो रिस्टोर करवाई. एंड दैट पिक्चर टर्न्ड आउट सो ब्यूटिफुली दैट इट ब्रॉट द होल फैमिली टुगेदर एंड ऑल क्रेडिट गोज़ टू ज़ैदी साहब.
This is not just my work or my father's work. It's the work of the time. There were NGOs who were very interested in financing me, but they wanted control of the negatives. And I was not going to do that. I would rather do it in my own frugal sense rather than give this away. When I'm gone, but as long as I'm alive, I have to maintain the history aspect as well as the physical aspect of having these negatives. Can't give them away.
With a few negatives recovered and many more to come, there is so much yet to be seen.